Fellow compatriots, good afternoon. My name is Millan Atam, the Secretary General to the Southern Cameroons Governing Council. We thank you very much for the wonderful, for the sacrifices that you've been making towards this successful resistance of ours. We are going through a very, very precarious time in our struggle. And as you know, Mr. Biya and his cohorts are presently in New York. Mr. Biya is trying to make a case for the declaration of a state of emergency like he wants to do and use it as an excuse to continuously invade our territory. We also know that Mr. Biya has been given a deadline to vacate our territory, and he is trying to find an excuse to argue why he should continue to maintain his forces on our territory. We must find a way to not give him that opportunity. As a result, we must ensure that we support our mothers, our sisters, our wives, and all the women who will be going out there to unleash the Takembeng on Mr. Biya and his regime. For us to do that, we ensure that as men, as boys, as fathers, we must be out there with all of them and ensure that we give them our support. The reason for this global march is to ensure that our brothers who are still being held in the dungeons of Mr. Biya get released. Mancho BBC, Pen Terence, and all the others who have been abducted, including those in the underground prison of Mr. Biya, like Mr. Ndango. We need to push and ensure that they are all arrested. We also know that Mr. Biya is working very hard to ensure that he quells this revolt in order to set an example on our boys and put them to the death squad. We must ensure that we do not allow that to happen, because those could have been any one of us. For that reason, the unleashing of the Takembeng is to ensure that Mr. Biya releases all our boys without exception. And should it occur that one of them has disappeared, as we suspect is the case, then we will have to unleash a completely different tsunami on Mr. Biya and his regime. We also know that Mr. Biya is making a case for a state of emergency and for clamping down on our people because of the arson that has been going on in our territory. 2 days ago, Mr. Biya's forces burned down Sacred Heart College of Mankon. This is an institution, this is an enigmatic institution in our country. It has produced some of the most brilliant minds that our country has ever had. How could we in any state of mind go out there and burn an institution that is ours, that we are so proud of? This can only come from Mr. Biya, but we must make sure that we do not give him the excuse to do what he wants to do. Sacred Heart of Mankon is the pride of our people. We must continue to keep it that way. For that reason, we must all go out there tomorrow. For those in New York, ensure that we go out there and debunk the lies that Mr. Biya and his cohorts will be saying. We need to get them to understand, show them footage like we have of soldiers who themselves were pouring gasoline and burning that campus. We need to show the world that Mr. Biya is doing this for very nefarious reasons. We also understand that there are some of our boys who, for purposes that is best known to them, be it for fun, for online fundraising, or for whatever, would quickly jump to social media and claim to be the perpetrators of such acts. We must disown that and continue to show the world that we are a responsible people and we do not believe in irresponsible acts. We are strongly in favor of the defense of our people, and that is why self-defense is something that we prioritize as the Governing Council. We continue to build our self-defense capacity. We continue to send our boys and ask them to gain the skills and the experience necessary to defend our territory and our people, but we make sure that whatever we do, we continue to implore our boys, our compatriots, that we must act responsibly. Acting responsibly means we follow and respect international human rights law, we follow and respect international humanitarian law, we go out there and do whatever we do responsibly, and that means we march, we demonstrate, we protest when necessary, but also when necessary, we defend our women, we defend our girls, we defend our mothers. But we must not go out there and carry out irresponsible acts. Finally, I would like to talk about this tsunami that we are about to unleash tomorrow, the 22nd of September. Remember, the 22nd of September has the potential to change the course of our history. Be part of that history, be part of the making of that history. And we also know that the miracle will not happen while we are there, but the miracle will happen as a result of the fact that we are there. So try and be there. 22nd of September will be the build-up to the 1st of October, which is the commemoration of our independence way back in 1961. We will ensure that we get our boys released as the first victory, and immediately after that, we start to apply pressure on Mr. Biya and his cohorts to render account for all the boys who may, for one reason or the other, not be accounted for. And if he fails to do that, then we will have to up our game and unleash the next level of the tsunami that we have planned for our people. So be there, make your contribution, make sure that you go out there, support our women, our mothers, our wives. Let us make the 22nd of September a memorable day in the history of our struggle. The people back at home, go out there, talk to your phones, talk to your different traditional rulers, but also go invade the offices of the colonialist officers that have been deployed by Yaoundé and get them to understand that we want our boys back. That is a demand. It is not a favor that we are asking of them. I look forward to seeing you at the different marches, be it in Pretoria, be it in Geneva, be it in London, be it in New York or any other part of the world. We are asking all of you to go out there and be part of this history that we are making. Thank you very much.